Good morning.
Hi.
It is Wednesday, November the 7th at 10 a.m. and we are starting with our third episode of Coffee with Homelove, and just wanted to kind of give an opportunity to introduce my husband.
Hi, guys.
Haley goes to PTO meetings once a month. And during those times, I'm going to bring him in to do this with us. So.
For the ones that don't know me, I'm Augie Salas.
Yes, hang on, I've got.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us today.
If you're watching, please like the post, send us a comment, let me know you're here. There we go. I'm seeing people. Okay. I was just making sure it was working right today because it looked a little different.
Hey, Elsie. How are you?
Hey, Elsie. Good to see you.
Hey, Diana.
Hey, Chastity. Hey, Jason. Okay. So just wanted to get started today and kind of introduce my listing specialist, Mr. Augie Salas, and give you guys kind of a background of our real estate career, the things that have brought us to this point, and kind of where we're headed in the future, just so you know who we are. As a background, I had a 10-year career in commercial insurance before I stopped and got my real estate license, and that was back in 2007. I picked an absolutely ideal time to enter the marketplace, right when everything imploded. And what that did was teach me a lot. I mean, I could go and show someone, you wouldn't believe the amount of properties that I could show someone back at that time, because there were so many listings on the market, and there were a ton of foreclosures and a ton of short sales, and it was just a very different environment. It was a struggle, to say the least, to get started at that time, but it was an education that I needed for the future. So I did that up until I had my first child. I quit working in real estate for a little bit whenever I had Evan, and I stayed home for, I guess it was about 3 years with the babies. And about that time, Augie was working in oil and gas.
Yes, after working in the service industry for about 10 years, 10, 11 years, I got into oil and gas right around 2005. And, that became my career, and I started working out in plants.
And you were running a plant.
Yeah, running a plant and working long hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just exhausting, to say the least. Mm-hmm. I found a lot of pleasure in it. It was just exhausting. I found myself to be away from home many hours. There were many days that I wouldn't even see, our son. So
that's kind of where we were at that point. I was staying home with the babies, and he was working a ton of hours at the plant. And after I had Owen, I started really, after about a year of being home with him, I started really thinking about where we were and where we wanted to be. And so I decided it was time for me to get back into real estate. So that was, I guess, probably 2011, 2012. 2012 and 2013 were some interesting years for us. We lost a couple of people that were really close to us, and it caused us to really reevaluate what we wanted in our lives and how we wanted to spend our time and how we wanted to spend our time professionally. And we found it important at that time to kind of create a career for the both of us that would, play to the strengths that we feel that we have and that they have, and really kind of take a page from their book and try to emulate, the kind of people that they were in business. So at that point, I guess it was 2013, Augie became licensed, and we started Team Salas, rounding the bases to bring you home. And he started working with me. He took his construction background and his work in the plant, all of that. He started doing listing prep, and it worked really well for us. That's really how my business got started and really began to take off about 5 years ago. So he worked with me for a couple of years, and then he actually kind of branched off and decided to start Homelove Renovations, where he did cabinet painting and backsplash. You know, he did all of this work. Countertops, flooring, bathroom remodels, staircase, fireplace. I mean, it snowballed into all of these things, which is great because this man can't sit still. He can't sit still. So he likes to work with his hands and is really good at it. So he did that, and it's interesting the way our businesses have worked together over the last couple of years. Thankfully, he did not want for business. And I guess what that led us to was a very similar situation to what we had been in before, where, except for at this point, my career had taken off to a point to where I wasn't around a whole lot, and his had too. And so we had to kind of really rethink where we wanted to be as a family, and you know what would best suit not only our clients but also our family. So at that point, we decided that what would be best is for him to come back and work with me for our clients. And and so he's been back doing that, and it's been working really well. So what does he do? He helps with listing prep, and that can be, I mean, a number of things. So we can go through and kind of take a look at a property to see, you know, what might trip up inspections.
Do little repairs here and there,
Mm-hmm.
drywall repairs, just it could be small landscaping issues, whatever, anything that I can do on a smaller scale that can improve the appearance of the home to make it a sellable product. You know, we do that.
He's even kind of gone as far as in certain situations where, you know, I have a current listing in the Woodlands, and whenever I went to go look at comps for that particular neighborhood, there just really wasn't anything that had sold that hadn't been updated. And so we really felt that it was important for her to do a few updates to the home from a remodeling standpoint in order for it to be competitive. And so what we did was go through and pick, you know, help her pick what items she wanted, you know, that would work for the property in order to improve it to sell. And so we put his skills to work in those instances as well. So I guess all we wanted to say was, you know, just kind of give you an idea of where we've been and where we're headed, and what it is that Augie does whenever he's working with me, because I'm sure y'all probably think, oh, how do they work together? They're those weird married people who actually work together. And the truth is that sometimes we butt heads because we always think that what each of us is working on is the most important and takes precedence. And so we have to really stop and listen to each other and work that out. So it's not perfect, but it definitely works. So I'm going to have Augie on the show probably at least once a month. And what he's going to do is present to you different ways that you need to be maintaining your home on a regular basis in order to keep things from kind of falling apart around you over time. Things that would actually add value. You know, there's a difference between maintenance and actual home improvement. And I think it's important that we educate you guys on the difference between the two and the importance of both.
That's right.
Because they're both important things as time goes on. And we'll get into, you know, the specifics of what each of those items are. You know, I mean, how do you winterize your sprinkler system? I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that we cover that, you know, that you may not know.
And for the ones that are, you know, considering moving, selling, upgrading, downsizing, whatever, just moving to a different property, you know, we can discuss some of the things that that you can do to prepare yourselves for those moments.
We talk a lot about how, when especially first-time home buyers, hey, you need to really buy, not rent, because it's a better investment. That's all fine and good, but a lot of people don't know what basic maintenance that home takes once they've purchased it. And that's fine, because people, they work in other industries, they're busy doing what they're going to do in their lives. But we just want to kind of cover a few things that can kind of help you maintain the quality of your property, and then help improve it over time, so that whenever it comes time to sell, you've not only enjoyed the differences that you've made along the way, but they actually help impact you and help you to sell on the higher end, which is what everyone wants. Everyone wants to sell on the higher end of that range. And our goal is to help you attain that. So
purchasing a home is one of the biggest investments that you'll ever make in your entire life. So probably it comes with a big responsibility. So very important to stay on top of those maintenance issues on a yearly basis, on a biannual basis, whatever the case might be. Things, we'll give pointers and give suggestions, and if you guys have any questions, always reach out to us, either here or by phone, text, email, whatever, and we will definitely do our best to guide you in the right direction. So that being said, I think we're going to wrap this up before we carry on for too long. Thank you so much, guys, for everybody that's joined in to listen to us. And stay tuned. We look forward to the future where we can kind of give you a few little educational videos along the way. Absolutely. If there's anything you want covered, please message me. We'll be happy to cover it in an upcoming episode. Or if you just need, if you have questions and want us to come check out your property, even if you're not thinking about selling or anything, if there's something that you're curious about from a maintenance standpoint, you let us know. We'll be happy to help you. Okay? You guys have a good day, and we'll catch you next week. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.